Hi, and welcome to today's Mazel class. I am your host, as always, Rabbi David Katz. And we're getting ready to finish a little stanza in the Mazel book. And wow, we're getting ready to hit some nice territory. I'm telling you, this is some really nice stuff. You know what the biggest tragedy is people have not discovered this series. This has got to be the best series that we do, and no one has hopped onto it. It's chaval. Please do your best in getting people to get into this series. They don't know what they're missing. Hemshech mechtav mi'Eliyahu hasavar Elyon mishana makoy mishana Mazel. Change of place, change of Mazel. Famous idea. And remember we said that you change your Mazel with schus gadol. Go listen to last week's class if you have a question about that. Not only through that. Change your place is also a change of Mazel. Dugma shetikelanu lahavin esayin al bayriv. Hariyadua shahakelim hem tami lefi hatachlis. Your stuff is always for your mission completion. Nenayich lamashal shetachliso shel Yehudi echad. Chelko begiloyu l'saye l'limud Torah. We have a guy whose mission in life is to help with learning in Torah. Imu noiled be'eretz she'haparnasa ba b'doichik gadol. You got this guy, he was born in a place where making a living was very difficult. Yitchen shemazlo, you can, it's a feasible argument, or you can explain that's just his Mazel. Al pi tachlisa yigraim lo aniyus. That his mission was to be caused into a bit of a poor state. Ki az yitzarech liyos melamed tinaikis. And he's got to teach little kids. He doesn't have a good high job. Lo. His damnis navosa lemala is tafkida idamazeh shehu ka'amar siyur the Talmud Torah nisyono yehim lelamed latinagis b'emunah solo. He wants to be involved in Torah. There's not much money in it. He's got to teach little 3 and 4 year old kids, and he has to understand someone's got to do it. But is he and if he's in this little town in Poland doing that, he can move, right? He can move to another city. But he has a mission, and he's got his soul, and he's meant to help with Torah. How's that going to work out? He's not going to move to, what do you call it? What do you call that tourist spot everyone posts on Facebook with the islands, the little island huts? What's that called, Justin? Everyone always posts it on Facebook, right? The blue, crystal clear blue waters and the white sandy beaches. You guys know what I'm talking about? Hello. There's a tourist spot everyone always posts about it. I'm like beautiful places in the world with crystal clear water and little huts The point is, you can't move there and go expect to teach Torah. Wish I remember. If you remember what it's called, tell me in the chat window. I forget what it's called. And you can explain then that then his Mazel will influence him according to his tachlis, ashirus, to be wealthy. How does he become wealthy? The nisiyona im ishtamish ba'isha shenitnu lo lismach l'tmach b'laimdei Torah ulo im kach yase hari bo al tachliso shehu ka'amar siyu l'talmid Torah ubezen niskayim mishana magam mishana mazel bli sheyeh bezeh kol shinai tachlis ruchnis l'ma'an nivra v'chein shar lahakfil dugmaus. Now, what is he saying here? Sha'ar's Mazel yashpiyalo. So he's going to go to a different place. If you can figure out the name of that place, Justin, with the with the water, and I can't remember. Please, if you can Google it, type in clear water, white beaches, and huts. It'll probably come up. Huts, white, clear water, white beaches. Does it come up for you? That if you move to locations, you're allowing your mazel to influence on you, and according to your abilities, and if it's to become rich, because you're becoming poor in Poland, then the Nisayan, not Tahiti, not the Caribbean, it's somewhere else. Here, let's do a quick little message from our sponsors. Let's see real quick. It's driving me crazy here. Hold on a second. You know what I'm talking about. The Yahoo News always shows this. It's called... Here, I'll tell you what it's called. Ready? There it is. Let's see here. Bora Bora. Bora Bora. You guys know Bora Bora? That's what I'm talking about. Bora Bora. You don't go to Bora Bora looking to be a Torah teacher. Then it becomes boring. So if you're gonna go from destitution to be having some wealth, and the test is then if you use the wealth that was given to you, if you're gonna use it for learning Torah or not. You understand that? So you are struggling to make a living. And now that you moved locations and you have wealth, are you going to put the wealth in learning Torah? Because that's that guy's mission. Remember that. We're not saying that it's a mitzvah to give money to Talmud Torah. Okay? Even though it is, that's not the issue. This guy's life mission is helping Talmud Torah. And he was not able to support Torah because he lived in some little town in Poland. So he moved to Miami, and he fell into money. So now the mission never changes. Changing Mazel doesn't mean I want to get out from Torah now. It's now that you're making money, are you going to put it back into your job that never changed in supporting Torah? Maybe his job is to support the milkman. Whatever it is, and then support the milkman. If he does the job, he accomplishes. If nothing changes in change Mazel. What changes is your ability to complete your mazel. Type 1, because that's the truth. You don't say, wow, God gave me a mazel to support Torah, and it's just too hard to support Torah, so I'm going to move to a place of no Torah, change of makom, change of mazel. No. If you were born for Torah, guess what you're going to be doing? Supporting Torah. Now, you can either do it in no money or in lots of money. It doesn't change. So if you don't like doing it like Hillel with no money, then you move. Change a place, change a mazel. And when you move and you make the money, your test is different, right? You were tested before by having no money. Now your test is that you have money. Are you going to put it in the place of Talmud Torah? You're never exempt from your job. You're never exempt. All you're asking for in the change of mazel is different conditions for you to do your job. The job never changes. So if you're complaining about your job, I would stop complaining if I were you. And what you really are complaining about is the conditions of your job. So change a place, change a mazel, improve your conditions, strengthen the test, and achieve the same job, only with different sets of variables. Hemshech mechtav mi Elyon, Adam shelo doyel tefila v'kol schus l'shanas es mazloi, mipnei shezed simchelko v'giloi Hashem. What is the Hebrew word for revealing God? Schar. Real reward. What does it mean? I want to do mitzvahs to get reward. Then you'll say, oh, but Pirkei Avos says you should be like servants who serve their master not for the sake of reward. And that's not a contradiction. You don't serve God in order to eavesdrop on God, but you do serve God in order there should be a revelation for what you've done. That's just how the world is created. That's why God gives Shefa. It's a revelation of God. And then, as we are saying, that is the purpose of creation, to reveal God. How do you reveal God? By being a servant of God. I'm pretty sure that by being a drug dealer in the middle of Los Angeles is not revealing God. I'm pretty sure about that. But if you get into Torah and mitzvahs, by definition, you're getting into the business of revealing God. Now, you don't go into that business to say, hey, I would rather be selling drugs, but hey, revealing God is pretty cool, so I'm going to go do some mitzvahs. No, you don't be like those people that serve for the sake of reward. Therefore, we know that the meaning of life is the service of God that reveals God. And there's two ways of doing it. One is we're saying through Mazel. And the other, we know from the book of Isaiah, is by keeping Shabbos. That when you keep Shabbos, by definition, the currency involved in that is revelation of God, delighting on the Shekhinah. And that's a verse in Isaiah. All right, so what we're saying again, Adam shelo toyel tefila, v'kol schus l'shanas is Mazel. What does that mean? Adam shelo toyel tefila, his prayer didn't help. V'kol schus l'shanas is Mazel. He doesn't have the merit to change his Mazel. Right? How do you get, this is pretty geschmack right here, Justin Becker. You live in Poland in the shtetl, and your mission is to teach and help Torah, but you have no money. Type 1. So you pray to God. God, I want to serve you. I'm doing this holy work. And guess what, Justin? It didn't work. God, your prayers didn't get answered. Type 1. So you said, God, can you at least give me a great merit? Type 1, Justin. What's the great merit? God, help me move to Miami from Poland. You hear that? That's the Chiddush. What does it mean, the merit to change your Mazel? How do you change your Mazel? Let's hear it. Everybody, let's hear it. How do you change your Mazel? Based on what we just said. And if prayer didn't work, please type it in the screen. This is called Chokhmah. You move. Isn't that not a brilliant answer? So first you pray, hey, God, I could use some money. And God says, nope. And you say, okay, God, well, guess what? I need to change my Mazel, but I don't have the merit to do it. I.e., I need to get out of Poland, and I don't have the way to get out of Poland to change my Mazel. Is that not fantastic? And the answer is, guess what? You were meant for Poland. You're not meant for sunny beaches. You burn very easily. You don't need a suntan. You need to be in Poland. So I have no money. I'm in Poland. I would love to move, and I can't, and my prayers aren't working. Type 1. But this is my mission. I'm here in Poland teaching little kids Torah with no money. I can barely do it, and I know it's my mission, and I have to fulfill my mission. I have no way out. Type 1. And somehow, by doing this, I am going to reveal God, which is the crown of creation, and it will justify my existence. Type 1. Can we all relate to this guy? Can we all relate to him? I think we can all relate to this guy in some way, shape, or form. The first thing you need to do is say, you know what? I love it here in Poland. These are trials from love. Type 1. I tried 1 billion times to leave Poland, and the answer is no. Just like the Vilna Gaon who tried to get to Israel, and the answer was, type it, let's hear it, big, hello. Vilna Gaon, going to Israel, the answer was, hello, 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 no. And now we know why. God, if you could just give me the lottery and let me leave Poland. God, if you could just make me healthy, I will run to Italy. I will literally run. I'll become Forrest Gump and I will run. Type 1. Come on. This is not practical to explain that this is how you change your Mazel, okay? שאין המזל משתנה כהן רבי אליעזר בן פרת, ולזה יסכוונן רבא כשהעיד שרבא ורב חיסדא, שניהם צדיקים גמורים היו, שניהם הספלו על גשמים וידעו, אבל רב חיסדא חי 92 שנה, ורבא רק 40 שנה. לרב חיסדא היו 4 שמחס ושפע כל טוב, ולרבא הרבה אבל וחוסר הכל, ומזה הכיח רבא דבני חיי ומזוני, לאו בזכוסה טליה מילסה אלא במזלה. היינו כאש זה מעצם חלקו. So when you have your portion, and there's no way to change your portion, that means that is your portion. And there are rabbis that spoke about this. And some had it really well off. And there was one who didn't. And he understood everything I do to change my Mazel fails. Now hear this. Remember we said that there's such a thing as a guy who supports Torah? Type 1. Type 1. And he cannot change that. Type 1. But he can either do it in poor or in rich. And he prefers to do it in rich. If he does it in rich, he'll be tested. Did he give the money? If he remains poor, will he ever get enough money? Did his mission ever change to teach Torah? No. So the answer is some people, their mission is not to have Mazel. So praying for a change of Mazel won't work. What you're asking for is either better or worse conditions that serves you in your mission to glorify and reveal God, of being in a place of not so great mazel. You understand how that works? Let's say there's, God forbid, an unattractive woman. God forbid. So she can say, look, this is my lot in life, right? She doesn't need to go and get plastic surgery. She needs to say, this is what God gave me, type 1. So you can either plug that in around men that appreciate her, or she can plug it in around men who degrade her. She cannot pray to wake up looking like Cinderella. That's not the reason why she was created. You don't run from your mazel. But you don't need to be abused either. And you go to someone that appreciates you. Then you glorify God. All of a sudden, the bad mazel, so to speak, isn't so bad. So if your mission is poor teaching Torah, then go to a place that glorifies that. They call that place Tzfat. In Tzfat, that's what Tzfat is. It stands the initial letter, Sorry Parnas Tamid, always needing money. Some places in the world, making a living in Torah is not that hard. But if your mazel is that it has to be hard, then go to a place like that. And those places exist. That's why they exist. And we'll do one more drop here, and then we'll stop for today on the Mazel before we switch over to Ger. Tuzbar hamachlaikis, b'inyan sadik v'raloi, tzari v'toivloi. How many of you ever heard the famous question, why do righteous or good people have to suffer? Anyone ever hear that? I'm a good person. Why do I have to suffer? When I was in London, I taught that class. It's on YouTube. Jacques, good to see you. I didn't mean to see you come in there. So a tzaddik gamor, a total tzaddik, or tzaddik v'tovlo. Some people are just good. They're good, they do good, and they have good energy. I know who I'm thinking about in wrestling. I'll just tell you, I don't know, you're not going to probably know who it is. America's greatest wrestler ever, his name is John Smith. And I love watching interviews with John Smith. He's just a really class act good guy. Right? It's like, you know, his team might lose the match, right? As a coach. He was a great wrestler, but now he's a coach. And they'll say, well, John, how come your team lost the tournament? He'll say, well, you know, we would try to have everything we could do, and it just wasn't our time, and the boys are working hard. I mean, how can you not love that guy? How can you not love that guy? He's just an awesome guy. Then there's another guy who's a tzaddik v'ralo. He's a tzaddik, but just bad things happen, right? Controversial. This is the guy, I'll get out of a wrestling analogy for you. Let's see here. Basically, in basketball analogy, Michael Jordan is a tzaddik v'tovlo, right? Everything Michael Jordan did in regard to basketball was undisputed, like great. No one ever challenged him. No one ever said anything bad about him. LeBron James, on the other hand, it's like always controversy, right? It never comes easy. It never comes free. And I think you all know these kind of people in your lives, right? The guy who's just got everything going right. And he's not necessarily better than the other guy. It's just that's his energy. It's going right. And this is your mazel is how you're created. The other guy, it just isn't always right. He's good. He's a tzaddik. It's just not always smooth. Lafi mahalik niflaze. And since this is miraculous, maz bir bal michtam Elyon is a sheila gedaylish and tzaddik v'tayvil tzaddik v'ralo. He's going to investigate what is the mystery of these two tzaddikim. In Mesechtes Braches Nichlak Utanayim Im Haydiyah Shemis Barech LeMaishe Ma shishoyo bibnei ma yisari v'toiv lo v'yash yisari v'raloi. The Rebbe Yossi idea tzadik v'toiv lo tzadik gamor tzadik v'ralo tzadik eino gamor. The Rebbe Meir lo nitna lo tshuva al sheila zoi shenamar v'chandi yes asher achoin afa pishe eino hagoin. V'rachmasi yes asher arachim afa pishe eino hagoin. The Gam is there needing his beer canal. God says, I will be compassionate on those I wish to be compassionate. And even those not on the level, I'm God, I do what I want. What does that mean? Rabbi Yossi medaber b'mi shehakelim heim rak misratim atachlisoi. We're only talking about the guy whose vessels are for his purpose, right? Again, the Torah teacher, and he has no money. He's in Poland. That guy, right? We're not asking why his jokes aren't funny, right? We're asking why does he have to have such a hard time making a living? Only according to his mission. I don't care about your jokes. Therefore, Therefore, we can change it by merit and an obligation, and the Inyan is to give it to hasaga, comprehension. Rabbi Meir medaber b'misha niis v'ashiris heime etzim tachisei. We're talking about a guy who's poor and rich, that those are the essence of his mission that he is to accomplish. You can't just change those things because that's your mission. Then, okay, so if I got a mission to be poor, to help with Torah, and I have two tables, one spiritual and one physical, and I can't change it, then, like, what's going on? One guy who teaches Torah has got to suffer. I grace who I wish to grace. God doesn't reveal it to you. So you're revealing that aspect of God that God says, I don't want to be revealed. The portions given are to souls according to their job. The source is in the world above, the world of free will. V'hu nikra Mazel Elyon. Devar zeh mushtash ba'olam shamayla v'me'olam b'chira v'lo yizgala taimo. The reason's not revealed. Ela b'tikun haklali. This is the big thing, the final waha that we establish in the end of all his shtalshalis. Shtalshalis is God emanating to you, all your stuff, all your vessels, all your things that you need. Nikra Mazel Elyon. Mazel means Mazel Elyon. So, Justin, do you have stuff? Type 1. Justin's got stuff. Justin, does God give you your stuff? Type 1. But, Justin, you don't know why you have your stuff, right? You're saying, okay, get rid of all the stuff except for the stuff that pertains to my job. So my job, I know my job. My job is to do what Justin does for God, to reveal God, right? Let's say it means to help Torah. Type 1. And you say, okay, God, I get it. My jokes and my interests, they have nothing to do with life. It's Hevel Havolim. All that matters is me supporting Torah to reveal you in the world. Type 1. But God, you made it really hard. You made it really, really, really hard. I can't really do my job that well. So what is the answer, Justin? that when all of your vessels have been given to you, and you've really understood the kalim, then you understand why your job is the way it is. Not what it is. You already know what it is. Why does it have to be this way? And all the other things are not really particular to you. That's just background, right? That answer, the ultimate answer that you're looking for, is called Mazal Elyon. What's the gematria of Mazal Elyon, Jacques? 166, 206, 236, 243. Is that right? 77, 177, 187, 193, 243. That's interesting. It's the gematria Gemar, meaning complete or finished. That actually makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? All right, we are in a very good spot. Justin Becker, I need you to remind me coming into next class of Mazel that we just did Mazal Elyon. And everyone, when I say Mazel, apparently what I'm talking about is Mazal Elyon. And there's something called the upper Mazel, and there's something called Mazal Tachton. Right? And I think we can understand what the lower Mazel is trying to say. Right? It's you in your job. And you're receiving the Ishtalshalis is you getting the stuff for your job. And your mastery of Mazel is the upper Mazel. So please remind me to start on that point when we start next week. And remember, everybody, we will be taking off for Passover a certain extent. Keep that in mind. The time change happened. Keep that in mind. And the yeshiva is due at some point in the month of April. So let's use the holiday season and these classes to do what we do. And we're going to have a full schedule lined up with the new yeshiva. So not that this is not a full schedule. We're still going strong. But the venue will change and the aesthetics will change. And hopefully more people will be involved and it'll be a grace razach.